After the flood, tyranny took root on earth, emerging within a few generations embodied in Nimrod, the grandson of Ham. Some believe Nimrod might stem from the Hebrew root meaning revolt or rebellion, reinforcing the notion that his very name carried the essence of defiance, regardless of etymological specifics. But before we unravel the mysteries of this historical figure, ensure you subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with our engaging content, but also become a part of our community of knowledge seekers. Don't miss out on the exciting narratives and insightful explorations that await. Hit that subscribe button and let's embark on this fascinating expedition together. Nimrod, a mighty hunter. Nimrod, often identified with Sargon of Akkad, stands as a historical enigma, notably the founder of the Akkadian dynasty. In the scriptural narrative, Genesis 10 verse 9, he is characterized as a mighty hunter, a label commonly associated with tracking and capturing animals. Many interpreters suggest Nimrod's fame could have stemmed from his skill in pursuing and subduing large game, even proposing the intriguing idea that he might have been the first dragon slayer.
Come on!
This hypothetical scenario envisions him protecting human settlements from the offspring of dinosaurs, which had spread across the lightly inhabited post-flood world. An alternative perspective, however, invites us to reconsider Nimrod's legacy. Rather than confining his hunting prowess to animals, some propose that Nimrod extended his dominion to treat neighbors as mere prey. The expression, "before the Lord," Genesis 10 verse 9, typically viewed positively, could, in this context, be interpreted negatively, implying actions against divine principles. Nimrod, then, becomes not just a mythical protector, but a complex figure, potentially casting a shadow over his legacy by ruling over people tyrannically, a stance seen as an affront to both God and humanity. The narrative surrounding Nimrod, rich in ambiguity, leaves us to ponder the intricate facets of his historical persona. Nimrod, a city builder. Following in the footsteps of Cain, Genesis 4 verse 17, Nimrod, too, left his mark on history as a city builder. His notable creation was Babel, strategically positioned in Shinar, the early biblical name for the southern part of what later became Babylonia, situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in present-day Iraq. Despite its current desolation, as foretold by Isaiah 13 verse 19 to 22, this region was once flourishing and fertile in the centuries immediately following the flood. The Babylonians bestowed upon Babel the name Gate of God, likely linked to its role as the center for the pagan cult of Baal worship. Here, a tower was erected to honor the pagan pantheon and challenge the authority of the living God. Interestingly, the covenant people later redefined the city's name, associating similar sounds, Balal, with he confused, Genesis 11 verse 9. As Babel's population grew, it likely outgrew its immediate resources, prompting Nimrod to establish additional cities in Sumer, Genesis 10 verse 10. This expansion not only addressed the challenge of sustaining a burgeoning population, but also served as a means for Nimrod to exert control over an increasing populace in greater Mesopotamia. This strategic move marked the formation of the first post-diluvian kingdom, a milestone noted as the Bible's initial reference to a kingdom. Nimrod's legacy, therefore, extends beyond being a mere city founder to shaping the early dynamics of post-flood civilization. Nimrod, as described in the Genesis account, not only established the first kingdom, but also extended his influence into Assyria, constructing cities and forming a lasting empire. This region, initially settled by Shem's descendants, witnessed Nimrod's conquests and the creation of permanent, lightly walled settlements. Nineveh on the Tigris River in northern Iraq became the capital of Assyria under Nimrod's rule. Nimrod, leader of the Babel Rebellion, Ziggurat, Nimrod, the likely founder of Babel, played a central role in the unified rebellion that took place possibly 130 to 340 years after the flood. Despite God's directive for mankind to spread and fill the earth, the people gathered around a central city, Babel, instead of exploring different regions. While Genesis 11 doesn't explicitly attribute the tower's construction to Nimrod as Babel's founder, it's reasonable to assume his oversight. Josephus, the Talmud, and Midrash on the Old Testament support this notion. The rebellion at Babel, led by Nimrod, was a clear act of defiance against God's law and authority. The nature of ziggurats, likely resembling the tower, suggests a connection to ancient Middle Eastern cultic religions. Babelites, under Nimrod, might have established a religious system with celestial and earth-based gods, laying the groundwork for later astrological practices. This influence persisted as inhabitants of Akkad and Sumer absorbed these beliefs, spreading worldwide with dispersing people groups after the confusion of languages. Genesis 11 verse 7 to 9. Nimrod, an historical figure. Nimrod, often viewed historically rather than as a legendary figure, has sparked various identifications in extra-biblical history. While secular historians have proposed names like Tukulti-Ninurta I, Amenophis III, Marduk, Orion, and Gilgamesh, the most plausible match, suggested by archaeologist Murray Admthwaite, aligns with Sargon the Great, also known as Sargon of Akkad. Sargon's reign, redated from the 1990s, places him in the era corresponding to Nimrod and the possible construction of the Tower of Babel. The extent of Sargon's empire, including Shinar and Akkad, aligns with the territories referenced in the Genesis 10 account, reinforcing the likelihood that Nimrod and Sargon are the same historical figure. The end of Nimrod's empire. Nimrod's empire, often linked to Sargon the Great, faced decline after his death in 2215 BC, leading to a chaotic period. The Third Dynasty attempted to consolidate power, lasting until around 2000 BC. Out of this turmoil, Amorite King Hammurabi established the Old Babylonian Empire, 1792 to 1750 BC, known for its law code. God used the division of language at Babel to thwart Nimrod's ambitions and bring an end to the First World Empire. Nimrod's anti-God rule, support for a false religion, and tyrannical leadership prompted God's intervention. Building cities as monuments to man, Nimrod represented the city of man, contrasting with Noah and Abraham, who built altars to God. The subsequent empires in Mesopotamia had significant interactions with God's covenant people throughout history.